Greetings survivors and friends, SHADOWFRAX here, and here's your weekly roundup of how things are going in the ever-changing world of Rust development, where we've got new gestures and a customizable gesture wheel to look at, plus rock, paper, scissors. But first, bikes on the staging AUX 02 branch are all now textured and appear to be fully functional, so I think we're on track to receive delivery in next month's update, as far as I can tell, although the pedal bike and trike are still sounding like they've got a lawnmower hidden in the seat. The sidecar now works properly and can seat a passenger. It's also now correctly calibrated, so it doesn't pull to the right when riding without a friend. The headlight works too, along with a lit speedo and fuel gauge. The standard motorbike's the same in most respects, apart from the sidecar element, and you don't seem to be able to do the Endo 180 flip thing anymore. See? I told you it was too much fun. The pedal bike is as per, but the trike now takes a rear-facing passenger, which I guess is handy for taking shots at pursuers. Some new things to note are that currently on the AUX 02 branch, bikes and trikes are spawning at the spermkets and warehouses, and both motorbikes are spawning at all good local gas stations, sphere tanks and water treatment plants, although they also appear to be turning up on roads. It's all subject to change, though, so it may continue like this, or maybe we'll get a new vendor at some point. We've got Ironwolf, so maybe it could be called Roadhog. Or what about Survival Knievel? If you've got a good name for one, shove it in the comments. New gestures next, plus the travelling vendor is working now, sort of. But first, hey you, fed up with being owned? Why not be an owner instead? Of a server, that is. Being lord and master of your own Rust Island feels so good. Bend the world to your every whim, build whatever you want, wherever you want it, spy on the inhabitants, and indulge in as much admin abuse as you can handle. Such power! I mean, responsibility. Because obviously you're a responsible person. Maybe you want to get into Rust's ever-expanding cinematic capabilities, or slap on a whitelist and just play with your friends. Well, Pine Hosting has what you need. They make it so easy to install a high-performance server in just a few minutes, load whatever plugins you want with a click, and control everything with the meanest, cleanest console you've ever seen. Got a server with another provider? They will personally help move you over. With affordable prices, server locations around the world, and any casted DDoS protection which gives you the best possible ping, making your server rank higher, and many other games supported besides. There's never been a better time to get your own server, and the best part right now is you can get an extra 30% off with code SHADOWFRAX. What are you waiting for? Back to the video. So, the travelling vendor is now sort of working, and I believe it's going live on the main staging branch soon for proper work, but here's how it functions so far. As long as there's a ring road, it'll spawn and start travelling around, and you'll be able to see it on the map, although you won't be able to see what's for sale on the map. Like with other vending machines, you actually have to go to it. If you run up to it, it'll stop and wait whilst you engage in retail therapy, and once you leave its radius, it should begin moving within a few seconds again. Please note though that if you try to grief it by standing in front of it for too long, then you'll be added to a naughty list and ignored for a few minutes. If it's stopped for you and you don't buy anything for a few minutes, then you're also added to that list. I believe from the commits that it will have a rotating random stock of items, and prices will have a certain random element too every time it spawns, with a slim chance of a major discount on something every now and then. The prices were initially going to be dynamic based on sales in the last 24 hours, but it appears this has been scrapped. Please note, if Bradley is spawned on a road, it will prevent the vendor from spawning for technical reasons, although it does seem to have the occasional difficulty with obstructions, can go off script every now and then, and currently moves a bit like a 1970s Eastern European stop-motion animation film at times. It seems immune to damage and difficult to ram off the road, but not impossible. But this is all subject to change, of course, and I'm sure it'll be as smooth as a Mr. Whippy ice cream when it finally drops on release. Talking of which, if it doesn't play this kind of thing as it's driving about, then I'll be very disappointed. As shown last week, we're also getting a DPV, which doesn't appear to have changed much and seems ready to go more or less. However, you can currently stand on it without it losing health like the boogie board does. But I reckon that's another thing that'll get changed for being too much fun. Remember the crude gestures Paddy was working on in the last hack week? Well, those are getting added, at least the less crude ones are. And to accommodate these, the gesture wheel is being expanded with a second page that can be flipped between with Q and E. You can also bind any gestures in the list to any slot on the wheel now via the options menu, and the new ones at the moment are cut throat, finger gun, shush, and watching you. Plus, there are some cinematic ones, like talking animations here too. Not only, but also, it appears that a new related mini-game is on the horizon, with early work on a rock, paper, scissors game that can be initiated with a gesture and joined in by other players. I can't test it at the moment, but hopefully I will be able to soon. Along with that new Radtown monument that I was kind of hoping for more images of today, but that sadly haven't materialised. Maybe next week will be the week though, so stay tuned for that. In other works in progress, hoods and cuffs are of course well underway and still being tweaked. There's a Frontier Hazmat and a new Frontier Hatchet to go with it that will emerge sometime down the road, and the team are working on a number of optimisations that hopefully I can give you a full breakdown of later on. You are now up to date. Please let me know what you think to all the new stuff coming to a server near you soon in the comments below, and like and subscribe please if you enjoyed this episode. Follow me on all the things, including Twitch, my socials and my Steam group. All the links are below, and you can support the channel here with Patreon, YouTube memberships and super thanks. I shall catch you all very soon, but in the meantime, keep calm and stay rusty. Cheerio.